Back out at the Venderly Complex with head coach Mike New on SportsLink Live out at Ball State football. Coach, a 24-21 loss up at Central Michigan this past weekend. What can you take away offensively and get ready for Buffalo this week?
We need to stop meeting like this. No more shows like this after a loss. But we go back to the game, looked at the tape. Unfortunately, you just cannot have 2 turnovers on the road like we had in the fourth quarter. We had a pick 6, and then at the end of the game, they're through a go route that was picked off. So we cannot have those turnovers. We're going to be in a position like this as the coming weeks unfold. So when we have an opportunity to win the game like that, or at least take the lead and send our defense back out on the field, we have to capitalize. We have to make the plays that come our way.
And Aaron Hepp had a special game as a senior. What was his impact like for you guys?
Well, Aaron did a nice job, but Aaron's one of those guys that comes ready to work every single day in practice. So he earned those reps, and he made the most of them when he got on the field. He just simply does his job. He made the plays that came his way, and he'll be ready to go to work when we get back out here on the practice field. But I'm happy for him to see his hard work pay off.
What have you seen from James Gilbert from week to week that's really made him so special on this team?
Well, I think James will be the first to tell you, just like I would, that the credit goes to the guys up front. For those guys to continue to build confidence, to work hard each and every week. They set the tone up front. They're the guys that open up the holes so that James can do his job. But, James, again, just like Aaron Hepp, he works hard every single day in practice. He's always got a smile on his face. He loves the game. He loves to play the game. I love seeing him on Saturday because you can tell without him saying anything, he's like, hey, just give me the ball. I'm ready. So James is one of those guys that you can count on him to be ready to go each and every week.
Damon Hazelton's also been one of those freshmen that have come out and had a really good season so far this year. What is his impact going to be moving forward?
Well, each and every week, Damon just becomes a little bit more comfortable. Early on, when you're a true freshman, you worry about, okay, how's the transition to the speed of the game? But he's proven that he's been able to adjust to that. He's done a good job of making a lot of plays for us. And, he's a guy that, that was a tough catch on Saturday on the fade for him to come down with that and have enough awareness to get his foot down. And we just continue to put Damon in a position to have some success like that, and he'll continue to get better each and every week and make the plays when he has an opportunity.
The defense with 5 sacks in the second half against Central Michigan, how can they continue to build off of that each week?
Well, the guys did a great job of responding at halftime. We went in on kind of a sour note there at the half. We got after the defense, got after the team really at halftime a little bit, but I was proud of those guys to come out in the second half to hold Central Michigan scoreless. The only score they had in the second half was on the interception for a touchdown. So I'm happy for that group of guys. I think they just kind of said, hey, I got to do my job just a little bit better with just a little bit more effort, be relentless like our defensive coaches always talk about. And I think you saw the results pay off, and we forced them into 6 punts there in the second half. And, I really was proud of the way those guys responded after halftime.
Josh Posley and Anthony Wimbush have been a force on the defensive side. How can those two continue to impress and impact this team?
Well, they just keep working hard in practice. Every week's a new week. Each team, each opponent that you face, they're going to prepare for you. They're going to look at your strengths, weaknesses. They're going to know that, hey, we got to slow these guys down. So they're going to have to expect some different protection schemes to potentially try to slow them down, take them away, if you will. So they just got to work that much harder, because when you have a target on you and they know that you put some results out there and you've had some production, you got to go back and practice. You got to work that much harder to continue to stay there.
Buffalo on the road this week coming up. What's the importance of practice this week?
Well, I told our guys in the team meeting the day after the game that we just have to finish. We got to keep working hard. We got to stick to the process. Each week requires you to have a great week of practice, to have enough confidence to go on the field and know that you're going to execute. And it's no different for us this week. We're going to go out. We're going to have a great week of practice. We're going to go into Buffalo feeling great about ourselves. And again, it comes down to making the plays that come your way, limiting your mistakes. And unfortunately for us, we had 2 mistakes that cost us on Saturday.
2 games on the road earlier this season, back-to-back, and then here this week coming up again. The second time they'll have back-to-back road games. What did you learn from the first stint that you can apply to this stint?
Well, our guys do a great job. When we go on the road, they do a great job of approaching it as a business trip. Really, as a coach, it's nice when you don't really have to say anything. You can see that their mindset is right. When you get to the visiting city, wherever we're at, it's just business as usual. Those guys, we work the itinerary that we have set in place for our guys, and they just do a good job of preparing themselves. And, we always have that mentality, it's us against the world, especially when you go on the road.
Head coach Mike New, Ball State football, joining us here at the Venderly Complex. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next, Vinnie Palazeti of the offensive line joins us out of football.
It's now or never.
At Stoops, we're driven by sunny skies, full hearts, and good clean fun. By life's biggest moments and the every single day. By Friday nights, Sunday mornings, and the 9-to-5 grind. We're driven to protect you and yours and ignite the senses to help you get lost so you may find yourself. You see, it's the smile on your face, the look in your eye, when we realize that what we do today soon becomes your everyday.
Back out at the Venderly Football Complex, I'm here with Vinnie Palazeti. I'm Mick Tidrow. On the offensive line, Vinnie, so far this year, with the offensive line having that consistent build, what have you guys done this year to continue to work better in each week?
You just get the reps at practice. You just got to understand that it's going to be a day-by-day process. You got guys who didn't have a lot of experience coming into the season, but the reps at practice really make the difference. You grind it out at practice. You have a hard practice. And then you come into the game ready because you've prepared all week for a tough opponent.
And sitting at 3-3 so far this year, what have you done personally to continue to grow each week?
I think you just got to come out with a mindset of you have to get better every day. And I switched a position. I switched to center, a position that I haven't really played before. But you got to come out, and Coach New preaches this all the time. You got to work hard at practice. You got to get your reps in, and you got to just perfect your craft because the team is really counting on you.
You mentioned the position change. What have you done during that position change to make sure it's gone smoothly?
Try to get extra snaps after practice. It's I've said this before, but I'm not the most athletic person, and definitely don't have the best ball handling skills. But just getting extra snaps with Riley, getting extra our old center, giving me some of the tricks of the trade. Just doing my best, I can help out the team in any way that I can.
What's been the hardest part about that position change for you?
I don't think it really has been too difficult of a change. Coach DeVan really preaches that all of our techniques really translate. It doesn't really matter where you play on the line. Tackle and the center could use the same techniques on the same play. It's just you perfect the techniques and you really buy into the program that the coaches have brought, and you're going to have success. What
was your first reaction when the topic of changing positions came up to you?
I didn't have too much of a reaction. The team needed a center, and I was in a position to play center, and so I just help out the team in really any way that I can.
And with the offensive line having some experience, Steve Bell especially on the line, what have you guys done together that have helped you guys this year?
I think that we lived it all in the same group in the summer, so we're all together all summer, and then you come into fall camp and you just get so many reps, just as a unit. You're breaking the huddle from the sideline, and as a unit, you're doing everything together, eating, sleeping together too. So it's like you just do everything together. You really build that cohesiveness, and a lot of guys, even though they haven't had all the reps in the games, they've been in the system. We've been together since freshman year, so we get it all, hanging out with each other and, just being together as a team.
After the 24-21 loss up at Central Michigan, what is an offensive line unit can you take away from that game and get ready for Buffalo this coming week?
I think we just have to strain just a little more. And obviously, when you come out of a tough road loss, there's just more that you can give. When you lose, there's something that you did wrong, right? You didn't perform to the best of your ability, and we just got to do more. Whether that's holding on to your block for a half a second longer, giving James just a little bit more room to run. We have some of the best skill positions that we could ask for, and some great guys there. We just, as a unit, we have to play to the best of our ability, and we have to give them more time to make plays and do their job.
What's the biggest emphasis going into that Buffalo game this week?
They're a good opponent, just like every team in the MAC, and I think it's Coach New just preaches. You gotta work hard at practice. You got to come out on Tuesday with a mindset that you got to do everything you can to have the best practice and put yourself in the best position to win.
When James Gilbert, Darian Green, and the rest of the running backs are going well on the offensive side, how easy does that make you guys and for your job?
I mean, when you have great running backs, it really makes it a lot easier. The defense is kind of wary. We have great wide receivers too, so the defense doesn't really know what's coming. But they know that when James Gilbert is in the backfield, that they're going to have a pretty hard time tackling him. So he makes our job easier, and we try to give him as much room as possible to make the plays that he can. What's
one of the most fun thing that you've done or really have had this year, your senior season? What's been that pinnacle for you this year?
It's just I just feel really lucky to be able to go out there with the guys that I can, and be a Ball State football offensive lineman. It's really, I'm just a really lucky person to be put in that position to help my team out.
Vinnie Palazeti, I'm Mick Tidrow. That does it here at the Venderly Football Complex for Facebook Live here at Ball State Football. Join us next week here at the Venderly Football Complex.